somatic efferent, central somatic efferent, and proprioceptive fibers. Another component, proprioceptive fibers. So proprioceptive efferent fibers. Proprioceptive afferent fibers, which bring the information, proprioceptive information from the lateral rectus muscle. Let me do a diagram for a better understanding. This one is the posterior clinoid process, and these two are superior border of petrous part of temporal bone. So behind this area it is a posterior cranial fossa, and now I am drawing a section of pons. This one is pons. This one is section of pons. Here I am drawing anterior clinoid process and superior orbital fissure. This one is superior orbital fissure, and here is the tendinous ring. Here is the tendinous ring, and this one is lesser wing of sphenoid bone. Lesser wing of sphenoid bone. Jugum sphenoidale. Here is the jugum sphenoidale. So this area, that is the middle cranial fossa, and this one is anterior cranial fossa. When we remove the orbital plate of this frontal bone, you can identify here the eye ball. This one is eye ball, and here I am drawing one muscle. Which one is supplied by abducent nerve, and this muscle is called lateral rectus muscle. Lateral rectus muscle. This one is lateral rectus muscle. So what is the deep origin of this abducent nerve? Deep origin. Here is the site of the nucleus. This one is motor nucleus of abducent nerve, which is situated at the floor of this fourth ventricle. Floor of the fourth ventricle, and here is the facial nucleus which surround it. So this one is the fiber of facial nerve. This one is fiber of facial nerve, and here is the nucleus is abducent nerve. Abducent nucleus. Okay. So deeply it is situated at the level of this facial colliculus, which is situated at the floor of the fourth ventricle. This one is deep origin. Then it passes through these pons, different part of the pons, the trapezoid body, medial lemniscal system, and the basilar part of the pons. We can identify this abducent nerve at the surface of this pons, at the pontomedullary junction. At the pontomedullary junction, the lower border of the pons, pontomedullary junction. Then it crosses one artery is here, and this artery is called anterior inferior cerebellar artery. This one is anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Anterior inferior cerebellar artery. So it crosses the anterior inferior cerebellar artery, and then it crosses this superior border of petrous part of temporal bone, and here is the site of cavernous sinus. Okay, this is the site of cavernous sinus. I am drawing cavernous sinus here. Then the nerve passes through the cavernous sinus, and along with this, here is the site of internal carotid artery. So infralateral to this internal carotid artery, it crosses through this cavernous sinus, and then through the tendinous ring, enter into the orbit and supply the lateral rectus muscle. Supply the lateral rectus muscle. So this one is the course of abducent nerve. This is the course of abducent nerve. This one is course of abducent nerve. The abducent nerve nucleus, which is situated at this facial colliculus at the floor of this fourth ventricle, and it travels this pons and the lower border of the pons. It arises. This one is superficial origin, pontomedullary junction. So lower border of pons and upper border of the pyramid of the medulla. Then it crosses this one artery, it is anterior cerebellar artery. Then the superior border of this vitreous part of temporal column travels to this cavernous sinus. This one is cavernous sinus. Cavernous sinus. Along with this internal carotid artery, here is the internal carotid artery, and then enter into this orbit through this tendinous ring and supply the lateral rectus muscle. Supply this lateral rectus muscle. So this one is about the deep origin, superficial origin, and course and distribution of the abducent nerve. Course and distribution of the abducent nerve. Abducent nerve, which contains this nucleus, which has a number of neurons. A large neuron which form the abducent nerve, and the small neurons which form the para-abducent nucleus, which are connected with this oculomotor and trochlear nerve along with this medial longitudinal fasciculus. We had already discussed in previous lecture of oculomotor nerve, and which are useful for this coordination of eye movement. Para-abducent nucleus, which are useful for the coordination of eye movement. So this nucleus, a large neuron which form this abducent nerve, which supply this lateral rectus muscle. If any condition this abducent nerve is damaged due to this its long course, because of this long course, if the intracrinial tension is increased, when it passes through this cisterna pontis, in front of this pons, here are the collection of CSF in subarachnoid space, this called cisterna pontis, and because of this long course, when this abducent nerve is damaged, this lateral rectus muscle will be paralyzed, and due to that there will be we can identify the medial squint. So this one is about the abducent nerve, which is a two type of fiber, general somatic efferent fiber which supply the lateral rectus muscle, and proprioceptive afferent fibers which bring the proprioceptive information from this lateral rectus muscle. And some communicating branch, it communicates here with this ophthalmic nerve and the plexus surrounding the internal carotid artery. Communicating branch, and through this communicating branch, this proprioceptive fibers transfer from abducent to this ophthalmic nerve, and then ultimately this neuron which are present in this mesencephalic nucleus of trigeminal nerve.